What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I get 10,000 steps in today. Thank you for joining along with me, you, my subscribers, on the climb to 5,000 by the end of the year. We getting slow motion, but motion nonetheless. And, hey, I'm just happy you guys are here, man. Like a trickle, a waterfall, it comes and goes. It'd be days that I'll get like a handful. It'd be days that I'll get like 100. It's like, damn, where'd that come from? But nonetheless, you guys, I'm grateful for all of you. So let's get into the topic today, man. You guys may have already seen, or you may not have seen, yesterday Kamala Harris did some sort of address. She was on, and I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. Kamala looked like she had been on the sauce. She was showing all of the signs, just the way she was, talking. She kind of had the glazy eyes. She was on the sauce. Like we done all seen somebody that had been on the sauce. We done been on the sauce ourselves at times. So we know the signs to look out for. And Kamala Harris, she's human like the rest of us. She likes to indulge in a glass of wine or whatever it is. It may have been something more this time. It may have been, it may have been some hen dog this time. We don't know. That's just speculation. But we know she likes to have at the very least a glass of wine, because one of the pictures that she uploaded after the election, she had a glass of wine by her. So, no harm in that, honestly. If you feel like you need that glass of wine, have it. But dang, do you gotta have it before you about to address the nation? That's just crazy to me, man. I don't know why you would choose then of all times to get on the internet. Sometimes you gotta just wait. You gotta put stuff off. You gotta sober up a little bit, because once that's out there, right? You, as a presidential candidate, whether people feel like you deserved it or not, you're a presidential candidate, so you have to represent like you were. You have to present yourself in a way like you were. And we all know that the left is going to pretend like she was totally fine. The ones who don't pretend like she was totally fine, they're going to be like, so what? What if she did? And whatnot. And we all know what the problem with that is, because we know that if her opponent would ever show himself like this for any reason, they would jump all over it. They would not be making any sort of excuses about it. They would jump all over it and be like, he is unfit. This is why he shouldn't have won the election, or shouldn't even be running if it were prior. We've never seen him present himself like this ever. And he's been a public figure for a very long time, long before running for president. Just him being a businessman that we knew about. He's been on TV as a businessman. He's been on TV as a bit of a, celebrity. He has never displayed himself in this manner. And if he ever did, the very people who are going to run to Kamala's defense, we all know they would jump all over that. But whatever. Kamala's had a rough last few months. And, she not only lost the election, she lost the election in a curb stomping manner. I've never run for office. I probably never will. And if I do, it'll be something local, but that's so far off. At this time, I can't imagine. But I know that running for office has to be rough, right? That can't be something that's easy to do. You're under a lot of scrutiny. You're under the microscope. A lot of mud is slung your way, some true, some not true. You got skeletons to hide. So, this could be a very stressful moment in your life. So now that it's over, if she need to get that buzz, I'm not necessarily against it. I'm just like, why are you then addressing the nation after having your drink? It's just, it was pretty weird. And again, I know that there are going to be people that are going to pretend like she was perfectly fine, perfectly there, nothing was wrong with her, she was totally sober. BS, she was not. So you're going to have people on the left that are going to pretend like she was fine, and then you're going to have people on the left that are going to be like, okay, so what if she did have a drink? So what if she was a little buzzed? So what? Knowing damn well that their feelings wouldn't be the same if it was her opponent ever displaying himself that way. Let's say he would have lost the election and displayed himself that way. That would have just been fuel for why he was unfit to lead, why he should have lost the election, why he shouldn't have ever been running. I mean, it'd have been everything. We take whatever she does, or they take whatever she does, and sweep it under the rug, and whatever he does, it gets amplified, and they add on extra stuff. They said so much false stuff about this man during the election, it was crazy. Nobody fell for it apparently, other than black folks. We've seen the numbers. They've come in, and we see that regardless of how much they try to lie and peddle misinformation, how much they try to use scare tactics, saying absurd things. I mean, these were absurd things. Like, there will never be election again. There may never be election again. You may never get to vote again for anything. Just absurd accusations they were making. None of this stuff worked. Oh, they're trying to take away, or he's trying to take away women's rights. It was, we all saw it happen in the real time. They were, first it was abortion, and because abortion is such an ugly word, and they were kind of being made fun of for it, they then turned it into reproductive rights. That was the more PC way of saying it. And when that wasn't really taken, then it became women's rights in general. You're trying to take away women's rights, as if there is any right whatsoever that a woman has in 2024 that a man doesn't have. And if next year there's going to be any right that a woman has currently right now that she's not going to have. But regardless of how hard they try to peddle misinformation and use these insane scare tactics, it was really crazy how, like, they were so serious with this strategy. It was a god-awful strategy, and they were so serious about it. They doubled and tripled and quadrupled down. They would not give this strategy up, regardless of how much it seemed like it wasn't working. Well, we learned that it did work. It just only worked on black folks, which means that the strategy didn't fucking work. You got a 13% population, out of all of America, you got a 13% population that it worked on. So it didn't work. And I'm embarrassed by the fact that it worked so effectively on black folks. I've said that before. I find it insane that 92% of black women voted for Kamala and 77% of black men voted for Kamala. We are the only group that showed up for that woman that was online yesterday, buzzed like a mofo. We're the only group that showed up for her like that. Crazy, man. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 years or after the next 4 years for the next election. I can only hope that next time around, in 4 years when it's time to vote, that black folks learn from this and vote based on policy and not identity politics. Because voting on emotion and identity politics is what led to black folks supporting Kamala Harris to the degree that we did. And all is displayed ultimately is just categoric ignorance. You have people that, if you ask them, what was it about Kamala of why they're going to vote for her, why they're so adamant about voting for her, they could never tell you. All they did was just go on about how much they don't like Trump. I've seen this in I've talked to so many people, a bunch of people during this election cycle. And anytime I ask somebody, What was it about Kamala that was so great of why they were going to vote for her and not Donald Trump? They could never make a good argument or any goofy argument. They couldn't make an argument at all. Their response to me was always a truckload of reasons why they don't like Donald Trump. And in most cases, the stuff was fake news. It wasn't even Project 2025 and all this sort of stuff. You know, it was oftentimes just fake news or some BS that they heard somebody repeat that they wanted to believe anyway because they don't like him. They could not give you a single reason of why Kamala Harris should be president of the United States. They're like, oh, I like her policies. And what are those? They couldn't tell you. You know, well, she's more in line with the stuff that Obama was doing. In what way? Like, legit just asking them. And you knew when you really had a person backed against the wall when they would get angry and defensive. Like, you asked them, you just simple questions, no aggression whatsoever, just to expand upon their answer, if only for the sake of me understanding you. Because I'm not asking you these questions to attack you. We're having a civil discussion, and I just want to understand your position. Nothing more. They would take that and get so angry and, well, I'm not answering it, and I've answered your question. It was just ridiculousness, man. Ridiculousness. Bottom line is, they wanted to believe, no matter what the facts were, Kamala good and Orange Man bad, and it was insane. So that's pretty much it, y'all, man. What do you guys think? Kamala got on there. And then on top of this, Kamala had the audacity to show herself this way while wanting more dollars. Man, imagine that. You want more dollars. You've already blown over $1 billion on a losing campaign. You want more dollars, and your way to ask for it is showing up on camera buzzed? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me in these comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.